As a professional Forex trader who has been in the game for over 10 years now, guys, I often get asked this question. And that question is, what is the key to being a profitable trader, particularly in Forex, where the markets are substantially harder? Well, the answer to that question isn't super simple, but I'll try to break it down for you in this video. The short answer is analysis. And I'm going to show you exactly what I use when it comes to analyzing the markets and making decisions. Let's get into this. So for this video, I'm going to be using Vantage Markets. And the reason for that is, well, they're just simply the best when it comes to analysis. I mean, they're a fantastic broker as well, but I just don't have this kind of information available with other brokers out there. So yeah, this is what we're going to be using, and I'll explain exactly what I'm thinking here. So when it comes to actually analyzing the markets, particularly in Forex, there are three types of analysis that you want to be looking at. One is going to be technical analysis. So that is obviously looking at the charts, looking at what's going with the indicators, and this is basically where you should go for that. So this is on Vantage Markets, the technical analysis section here. If you go to Forex, you can basically get indicators that are showing you exactly what all of the top moving average, RSI, MACD, all of these kind of indicators are saying when it comes to different time frames on these Forex pairings. So here we can see we do have Euro JPY. It's currently on a sell on the 5 minutes. We can just select this. We can go up to a day if we want. You can see on the day, on the longer term, we can see that that is a buy. So me looking at that right now, I could say, okay, well, potentially we are in a pullback right now on the 5-minute chart where it's more on a sell. And we can take a look at that and go, okay, well, the macro, though, is trending towards the upside with a buy. So that would be one way you can look at technical analysis. Guys, this video is sponsored by PrimeLink. Now, PrimeLink is definitely something you should be using because you get backlinks, you get QR codes, you get analytics, and much more. So definitely check out PrimeLink in the description. Let's get back to the video. The other is, of course, fundamental analysis. So this is essentially what's going on with the news, what's going on politically, diplomatically between certain countries, because that will naturally affect the pairings of their currencies. So this is something to definitely pay attention to. A lot of traders say don't do this, just purely focus on the technical. I actually say you need to be looking at every type of analysis because you're going to get different information and different bits of value from each of those sets. So yes, we have technical, we have fundamental, and we have sentiment as well that we'll get into. So when it comes to fundamental analysis, going to the Vantage Markets website and actually going to the news and analysis section, which is just here, guys, we can actually go ahead and look at what's going on here. One of my favorite tools here to use is actually this daily financial news video that they put out. So let's just click on this right now. We can see they've put this out here. It's a 2-minute video showing us all what's going on in the markets right now, and they even have their own host, and it all looks great here. So this is how we can get a good and quick update on what's going on. We can see Euro USD here with a bit of analysis following that. So this is how we can actually look at what's going on in the world is going to affect the fundamental side that's coming through here. And then we have the sentiment analysis as well here. So sentiment analysis is pretty straightforward. What's going on social media? What are people talking about? Now, Vantage actually have this section here in Pro Trader Tools. All you got to do is make an account. Super easy. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Then go to the Tools section, go to Pro Trader Tools. Now, once you've got access to this, it's super easy. And again, guys, completely free to access. You want to go to currencies for Forex, of course, but they do stocks and indices as well. We can see what people are talking about most. So this will typically relate to what's going on with sentiment and basically also work in parallel with fundamental, because this is going to be what people are talking about on social media. So here we can see Euro USD. We did see that in the video that these guys put out as well. So lots of mentions surrounding Euro USD. So maybe we want to trade that more often than not because it's going to be more volatile and have more swings on the shorter time frames. Now, on the left-hand side here, we can actually go to a 7-day, 30-day, or 90-day for mentions as well. So this could be more for the macro. We can see here Euro USD still being shown here for this one. So yeah, I would definitely be trading this more often than not. But it's also worth noting that other currencies or certain currencies will be more popular on social media than others. I know Euro USD is a massively traded currency, as well as GBP USD. So yeah, definitely look out for that on this kind of sentiment analysis section. Now, another answer to this question, how to be profitable when Forex trading, is of course the technical analysis tools that you use. And if we do look at Vantage here, typically a lot of people ask me how I get my indicators. This is as simple as it gets because yes, we have analyst views here on the indicators, and we have adaptive candlesticks and adaptive divergence and convergence. So these are the three that I typically use mainly on my MetaTrader, and it's super easy to download and install them. All you're gonna do is hit that download button and you are good to go, and then they will be put into your MetaTrader. So then you can start using them and getting that edge on the markets. Now, one of the biggest things that people miss when they come to Forex trading is they focus too much on the chart and not the events. And this is why I use the Vantage economic calendar here, which will basically just give us all of the events that are happening globally. So we can see that, yes, we do actually have updates on volatility when it comes to certain assets, but we also have events here that are expected to happen. So here we can see the monthly budget statement for August. We have the 30-year bond auction, etc. So we can use this to get our edge on the market and say, hey, when these events happen, we can actually go ahead and be prepared to trade them depending on what that news is. So we would potentially have the news up, ready to go, and then watch what happens with a certain speech or with certain news that's expected to come out on that date. This can be great for just trading the volatility and, of course, making money from that extra liquidity that is added from these events. But overall, we are using all of this together, and this is why I highly advise just going over to the Vantage site, because all of this is completely for free. There are some other things that you can access as well with the pro accounts, but overall, this is basically everything you need. It's all for free, all of the indicators, sentiment analysis, and technical analysis tools that you need. But yes, we are using all of these together. So we're using the technical analysis tools and updates from this site. We're using the fundamental analysis from the news, and we're using the sentiment analysis from social media that's all displayed on Vantage. So for example, let's say we have some bullish indications from the technical analysis on Euro USD, and then we get some bullish news on Euro USD as well. And the sentiment is all bullish on social media from this particular asset. I mean, yes, that's going to be a great sign for a trade that we could hold over a month, or we could trade it particularly on that day as that bullish news does kind of spark up. But overall, that is how I navigate the markets, and it might sound fairly simple, guys, but you have to remember that you have to include your risk management. You have to make sure you have a solid strategy for these different events. And of course, do not just take shortcuts or cut corners with this stuff. Make sure you're analyzing everything on the Vantage site and really making your decisions after that. But if you do want to make an account on Vantage, it's super easy to do. Hit the link in the description, guys, press register, and then you will have an account ready to go. From that point, yes, you can also use all of their tools and just trade the markets as I do every day using this system. But that's going to be it from me. Have a fantastic day. I will see you in the next one.